Hi, everybody. Welcome to Broadway.com's Live at 5. It is Wednesday, June 13th. It's my brother Randy's birthday.
Aw,
Happy birthday,
nice.
Randy. Yeah, I am
Shout
Ryan
out.
Lee Gilbert.
And I'm Andy, not Randy. Lefkowitz.
And we are joined here in the studio by the wonderful Caitlin Moynihan.
Hello.
And we have a fantastic guest with us today.
We do. We have Erich Bergen here from Waitress.
Making his Broadway debut in Waitress, we will talk to Erich in just a little bit. But first, let's go through today's top 5.
A screen favorite is returning to the UK stage.
Yes, so Cate Blanchett, who made her Broadway debut last year, is returning to the London stage next year in January in a new work called When We Have Sufficiently Tortured Each Other. Yeah, so this is
So it's really upbeat.
It's very upbeat. Yes,
I don't know
this
anything
is a world premiere play by Martin Krimp, and it's going to be directed by Katie Mitchell. Co-starring alongside Cate Blanchett will be Tony winner Stephen Delane, Tony winner for The Real Thing.
Right.
And this will kick off performances at the National Theatre next year, starting in January, with exact dates to come.
Yeah, Cate Blanchett is amazing on stage.
Oh my gosh, two-time Oscar winner, Tony nominee.
Yes, I just saw Ocean's 8. She's
Ooh.
fantastic in Ocean's 8.
Nice.
Yes, but I loved her in the present. She's fantastic.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Me too. If we get to see it.
Yeah, if we get to see it. I'm thinking it's going to transfer.
Of course,
That's
if it's
in my
fingers
heart.
crossed.
In my
Yeah,
heart.
all
Yeah.
right.
Fingers crossed. Guys, and Cher, Dion, and Ty are going to be rolling with the homies all the way to the New York stage.
Yes.
Yes.
This is something that I know a lot of us, myself included, have been excited about for a very long time. Obviously, these cult film properties becoming musicals is a big thing right now. Clueless, which if you're not a fan of, I don't know what's wrong with you. But it will be finally making its world premiere as a musical. It has been created by the show's screenwriter, Amy Heckerling. It'll be directed by Tony nominee Kristen Hange, who did Rock of Ages.
Yes.
Choreographed by Tony nominee Kelly Devine. And it will be kicking off performances in fall 2018 at the New Group, the Off-Broadway Theater. We're very excited. Of course, the New Group announced their whole season, and there's a lot of interesting things. A play called Daddy by Jeremy O. Harris will be starring Alan Cumming.
Yes.
So he's coming back to the New York stage, which is always a treat.
Yeah.
A play called The True by Shar White. He wrote The Other Place. Laurie Metcalf was incredible. The Snow Geese.
Yes.
This will star Edie Falco, Michael McKeon, and Peter Scolari, with Scott Elliott directing. That's in September of this year. And then a play called Yeah, Sister.
Yes, sister.
And it's written by Jesse Eisenberg, and that's next spring.
All world
So,
premieres.
Yeah, incredible new group season. Yeah, amazing.
Yep.
Amazing. Guys, and the two-player game has officially completed its casting.
Ooh, I like that.
Well
so
done.
we have complete casting for Be More Chill, which is making its off-Broadway premiere this summer at the Pershing Square Signature Center, where New Group has their productions. So the new cast members are Tiffany Mann, who actually just won a Lortel
right,
Award
she
for
did,
the New
yeah.
Group's production of Jerry Springer the Opera.
Right.
She's going to be playing the role of Jenna, and Britton Smith is also joining the cast in the role of Jake.
Oh, Shuffle Along after
Yes,
midnight.
super
That's
talented dude. So this is Joe Iconis and Joe Trass's musical, which played New Jersey a few years
It's had
ago.
a cult following for a
Yes.
very long time. Yeah.
Really excited about it. So this will run from July 26th through September 23rd.
Right, and we already know Will Rowland is a part
Yes.
of. We have Jason Tam as the Squip.
Indeed. George Salazar, Stephanie Sue.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fantastic cast. Can't wait.
Guys, and Heidi Blickenstaff is getting freaky on Disney Channel. That was a good
Yes.
one.
So we've known that. So they took Freaky Friday, they turned it into a musical, and then they did a film adaptation of that musical. And the Disney Channel will be airing that on August 10th. This was created by, the score was written by Next to Normal Tony and Pulitzer winners Tom Kitt and Brian Yorkie. The screenwriter, or the writer, is Bridget Carpenter, adapting her own. She also wrote the book for the musical, and then she adapted it for this. And yeah, Heidi Blickenstaff, who you know and love, I'm sure. She will be starring in it as well. August 10th, we finally get to see it. I'm
Yes,
very excited.
8 p.m. Eastern
Yeah.
Time. I'm so
I was
excited
gonna say,
about
I
it.
can't remember the last time I turned to the Disney Channel.
Yes,
My
well, this is
cable,
the
but
time to
might
do
have to
it.
blow some dust off it, but I'm gonna do it on August 10th.
And Mama has been providing for all the chorus members on Once on This Island.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
So, pleasant, marvelous surprise this past Sunday. Once on This Island won the Tony Award for Best Musical Revival.
Absolutely.
And today they got some more good news. The chorus of Once on This Island has been named the winner of Actors Equity's Best Chorus Award.
Right.
So this is the 12th annual Outstanding Broadway Chorus Award, and all of the opening night ensemble cast members are being
wow.
presented
Yeah.
with this. So this is really exciting.
Yeah, and this is something that the Tony Committee is like, or this is something they've been petitioned to include.
Yes,
right,
from
Tony?
Equity,
Right,
yeah.
exactly, to include awards that reward the chorus and ensemble members of these Broadway shows. Well, Once on This Island is that's a good one. That's a
Yes.
good place to
Indeed.
good place to start.
Yeah.
All right, and of course you can go see Once on This Island at the Circle in the Square Theater.
Indeed.
It's launching a tour this fall, so way to go over there.
Indeed.
Andy, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you,
Such
Ryan.
a pleasure doing the news with you.
You bet it, man.
Caitlin, why don't you tell us a little bit about today's very special guest?
Yeah. Guys, we got Erich Bergen in the studio today. He's currently making his Broadway debut as Dr. Pomander in the hit show Waitress. He previously played Bob in both the 2014 movie Jersey Boys, and he played the same character in the first national tour. His other stage credits include Anything Goes and Irving Berlin's White Christmas, but he's also known for playing Blake Moran on Madam Secretary on CBS. Be sure to follow him on social media at Erich Bergen and leave all of your questions for him in the comments below because we know you guys got a lot. Everybody, please welcome Erich.
Hello there, sir. Yes, round of applause for Erich
Thank
Bergen.
you.
I'm so excited to chat with you, sir. I don't know if anyone told. So I am the resident waitress expert
Oh.
here around the Broadway.com.
I had a
studios.
week of rehearsal, so you know so much more than I do. Don't ask me about anything
No.
other characters do or say, because I have no clue.
No, I won't quiz you.
Okay,
I won't
good.
quiz you. No, I love the show very, very much. And I'm very excited. You are making your Broadway debut physically. in
Yeah,
Waitress.
that's true.
Your voice has been on Broadway before.
Yes,
An American
yes.
Daughter. That's right.
Yes, it was. I think it was like 1997 or something
believe
like that.
so,
There was
yeah.
a wonderful play by Wendy Wasserstein with
Mm-hmm.
Kate Nelligan and Lynn Thigpen,
You had
Hal
Daniel
Holbrook.
Sullivan
Daniel Sullivan
directing,
directed it, and they had cast me in it. And in rehearsals, I think I had gone to one rehearsal, but they had decided to, at the last minute, make it just a pre-recorded voice.
Okay.
Instead of having me come to the theater each night. I don't know if it was something I did in rehearsals they didn't like, but
No,
whatever
I'm sure
it was.
it was just a creative.
Okay,
decision, You know,
I'll,
I'm sure you were
I'll
great.
take that. And yeah, so my voice was on Broadway, and I got my name in a playbill.
Okay,
For the
yeah,
first time.
sure, yeah.
But this is the first time that I've ever had to show up to the theater. on
Well,
Broadway.
it's very exciting.
I'm very excited.
And you're playing Dr. Pomander
Yeah.
in Waitress. Tell me a little bit. How'd you get involved? Did you express some interest? Were you how did it all come together?
I've been in love with this show since I saw it at ART up in Boston. I had a bunch of friends in it and went to go just to see it, to support it. A huge Sara Bareilles fan, and I've been longtime friends with Drew Gehling and Jesse Mueller. And I went to go see it and absolutely fell in love with it. And I thought one day I'd love to do a show like that. I mean, I kind of like shows that are comedies that then make you cry at the end.
Absolutely.
Those I
That's
like.
your sweet spot.
I
Yeah.
really do. I
Yeah.
like the hallmark of it all.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the show had a lot of great messages, and of course you can't beat that score.
Absolutely.
So I had always wanted to be involved, and it's hard when we do 22 or 23 episodes of
Right,
Madam
network
Secretary.
TV.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the
that's-
old style thing.
yeah.
So I don't have that much time off. So trying to find something to fit in that time period is very hard. And we or 2 hiatuses ago, I filmed a movie.
Right.
I've always been able to find something, or it's a concert or something like that. But this kind of opportunity came up, and I begged them to be in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally just begged. And
Not leaving this theater.
No, I called them. I said, just please give me this part. You know I'm right for this part.
Yeah.
So they did, and it's been a whirlwind. I had about 9 days of
I was
rehearsal.
gonna say everything happened really fast.
It happened
like
really
from the
fast.
announcement of you being a part to you making your first bow.
That's right. To this
Yes,
afternoon.
that's right.
Yeah, it's been really fast. It was 9 days of rehearsal into the first performance, which was last Tuesday.
Yep,
A week ago yesterday, and then straight to the Tonys on Sunday night, and we're here. We're alive. We lived through it.
You made it.
We made it through Tony. But well, you guys, I don't know. You make it through Tony week. I don't know when you sleep.
Coffee.
Coffee. Yeah. It's been a thrill. What's amazing to me about this show is that it's the only show still left from the season of Hamilton, which is over 2 years ago.
Right.
Which it's very hard to find a musical that lasts that long and doesn't show any signs of slowing
Where
down.
word of mouth just kind of keeps it.
Last night, a Tuesday night on Broadway was actually sold out, which is just crazy to me. And we do these cast album karaoke things a couple of times a month, and that has kept people coming back and over again. It's on the way over here, walking up from the theater because you wouldn't send a car. I ran into
tight purse strings, right?
Yeah. I ran into people on the street who were just, who were like, oh my God, we saw it last night. One person saw it today, and they want to talk about it. They love it. And it's people of all ages. And it's just, what I love is when I say certain lines and you actually can hear the audience collectively do the thing to stop crying. They all make that same. They all make that noise together.
Oh,
which makes me so happy.
I've been one of those.
Yes,
people.
exactly. It's great. The cast was incredible. Tiffany Mann, who you just spoke about, is in our show. For a short period, and she's hilarious. And each and every person in this show, some of them have been in it from the beginning. Some of them are new, like me. They're so talented, and they're so wonderful in whatever bit or large parts they have, but everyone is just so kind and so talented, and of course Kathryn's just a dream. So
well, I want to say, so Kathryn McPhee, she made her Broadway debut in the show not too long before you got involved.
That's right.
And so both of you are kind of sharing in this adventure together.
Yeah.
What has it been like to get to know Kathryn and work with her?
Well, she got a few months ahead of me. She got April. So I was turning to her, and she became the expert. But I think both of us are we're going back to, she started in theater as well. She was a theater kid.
Sure, yeah.
And we both are going back to what it was that made us want to do this in the first place. I mean, that is the reason why I did this. I'm only doing it for 2 months. It was really for me to go back to what it is that I love and what inspired me to do this in the first place. And it was an interesting period readjusting. I thought, oh God, just don't have me be one of those, because I grew up doing like musical comedy of the 60s and like big broad, like I was a theater kid. What's the cut song from Company? And it was in that key, like that weird kid. And
that blessed.
Yes, exactly. That's yeah. Before hashtags, I was #blessed. I was so afraid, oh God, I'm going to be that TV actor that shows up to the theater and is like, says all the lines right here. And I thought, I'm not going to be that. And I can do this. And the first day, the stage manager, Tom Gates, says, be a little louder. I thought, no, God. So, of course, ever since then at rehearsals, I've just been screaming everything as much as possible. Thankfully, this is week 2, and I have found my middle ground.
You're a New York native, right?
Born and raised, just down the street.
So do you remember what made you fall in love with music, with performing? Like, do you remember the bedrock that built?
Well, I grew up. The first thing I discovered was MTV. I was an only child, and I didn't have a lot of friends, and I discovered MTV, and I discovered music videos, and I discovered Michael Jackson and all the kind of pop artists of the 80s. That was the real first thing that made me want to perform. But I was Jewish, so the idea of becoming Michael Jackson wasn't, there's no Jewish pop stars, So I thought, well, this isn't going to work out. So I quickly discovered theater. My mom brought me to my first Broadway show that I saw at the Schubert Theater. Which was Big, the musical. What's their names? Right, wrote Starting Here, Starting Now. Maltby and Shire's.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Big, the musical. I know you failed me there.
Yes.
You didn't quick
I'm
enough.
the waitress expert.
Come on, sorry. And it was what that show was it was filled with an ensemble of kids.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I saw kids performing on stage. And acting and getting applause, and that was really what made me.
That was the click.
That was the click. Yeah. And then right after that, my parents saw in the back of New York Times Magazine an ad for something called Stage Door Manor, which was a performing arts theater camp up in the Catskills. And I went there, and starting in the summer of '96, stayed until I until I was no longer allowed to go, and because I'd still be there this summer if not, and it changed my life. And I went there with, I was there with Natalie Portman and Mandy Moore and Leah Michelle and Skylar Aston. I'm trying to remember their new stage names because I remember everyone's real names, much like me. It was an incredible group of people, and still my friends from Stage Door are my core group of friends to this day. And that's really where I discovered the theater.
Right, and then you kind of cut your teeth touring.
Yeah.
Toured with Anything Goes, toured with Jersey Boys before you did the Jersey Boys film.
Yes,
right?
yeah. I did 3 years of Jersey Boys, the first year of the national tour, and then I did 2 years in Las Vegas, and then
what was that like?
Las
doing
Vegas?
Jersey Boys in Las Vegas.
Oh, it was great.
I was gonna say that. Must
We were
be.
in Vegas in a great time. It was interesting because when we got to Vegas, it was right at the beginning of 2008, which was the beginning of the recession.
Right.
So we would, driving around, there were like buildings that were just abandoned. But it was a great time for productions and theaters in Vegas. They just built the Palazzo, which is where we went into. The audiences were just nuts and amazing and screaming for it. It's a very, that was a perfect Vegas show.
Oh, it is. It is. Yeah.
And we had a great time there. Las Vegas is filled with an incredible community of artists and musicians that I think that exists really to counteract the concept that it is this place of showgirls and people just live on the strip in hotels,
Right,
and it really
right.
isn't that at all. It's an incredible group of artists who live there, and right now it's kind of a weird, slow time in Las Vegas for shows, but we were there during a great time.
Right, and now that you got your start in theater, but then you obviously have been doing your Madam Secretary for a while now. But now that you back here on Broadway, do you think it's a bite that's going to stick again? Or are you going to have to?
Well, yes, that always. Yes, I love it. I mean, I adore Madam Secretary. I mean, there's people always say to me, are you over it? It's like, I'm really not. We're about to start our 5th season, which as an actor is, I don't know what's wood here, but it's that really is blessed.
Absolutely,
I mean, that is, and we have
You got to get up to that syndication.
Well, we just got syndicated.
That's right.
We just got syndicated. Yes, and we're on Netflix and all these other things. It's great, and it's the nicest, most fun group of people. They're all theater people.
I was gonna say that whole
It's
cast,
all theater people, except for Taya, who the thought of walking on stage. Oh no. I've never seen. You say the word stage and she starts to shake. She's so stage frightened. That's not her thing. But everyone else really is, and we all come from the theater, and so I would love to come back and do more. There's a play I'm dying to do that I'm attached to, and it's just a matter of finding the right time.
Certainly. I wanted to start taking some questions from
Sure.
viewers, but I just want to know, as Andy mentioned earlier, you were at the Tonys.
Yes.
Were these your first Tonys?
I've been a bunch of times, but this is the first time that I presented.
And how was it? Was it nerve-wracking? Was it?
There's something about Radio City Music Hall that when you walk on stage, it's so large that you're not actually taking in where you are. You don't really. It's kind of just like, it looks like a painting in front of you, and your eyes are just straight, you're just looking for that teleprompter, which I made a joke out of. I said my name on the teleprompter, and just because I'm an idiot, and I did it as a joke. I mean, I really did not mean, I meant to say it. But I got all this.
Like you needed to say it.
Well, no, I just thought I thought we were introducing Best Book, and I thought, wouldn't it be funny to read the book as if,
Absolutely.
But the poor Kathryn McPhee, we've only known each other for like 2 weeks. She doesn't know how much of an idiot I am, and I was just being funny. And if you watch the clip back, she turns to me at one point and goes, "Well, oh God," and I apologized to her after. Like, I'm so sorry. I should have told you that I'm like this. And all these people writing online, oh my God, did Erich just say his name off the teleprompter?
Not that big of a crime. That's it.
It was a joke. I did it on purpose. And so at first I was going to tweet out, that was a joke, people. And then I took it back because I was like, let them think what they want.
Right, exactly. Caitlin, what would our adoring viewers like to know from
And my
Erich?
mother, who's
Awesome.
probably
And
watching
your
and sent
mother.
it
I'll look
across
for her.
Okay.
No, a lot of people want to know that if you could be in any other Broadway show right now, which one would you like to be in?
Oh, I would love to do The King in Hamilton. I only do shows where I'm in 20 minutes or less of stage time. That's my
Just
rule.
one and done.
Yeah.
And just
One and
wrap
done.
it up.
I would love that. That would be ideal.
Awesome. Another question, I'm trying to find it, I just saw it, is, Preksha wants to know what is the hardest thing about playing Dr. Pomander?
The hardest thing, you have to, at one point, you have to take this big chunk of a muffin or a pie, and then you have to swallow it kind of quickly and then sing Bad Idea immediately after that, as well as jump on the gynecologist table. You're jumping all over the place. And it is the driest muffin you have ever tasted. And at one point during Bad Idea, I think it was like 2 nights ago or something like that, it was just that it's a bad idea. You. And it was just sitting right there. And I thought, can I put a thermos somewhere on this table? That's, I think, the hardest part. It's such a fun role. I mean, whatever the audience is feeling as far as the fun of the show and of that moment, it's just as fun for us on stage. It's just a blast.
The counter to that, what's your favorite part of Dr. Pomander? Or in playing?
You mean the character?
Yeah.
Well, I think the character is a complicated character because he is having an affair. In a weird way, the audience is cheering on this affair. So there's all these kind of questions that you ask about the pursuit of happiness, which is spoken about in the show. And I think the fact that it's not an easy answer, that it isn't a Hallmark film, that this really is a real dilemma.
Yeah, there's stakes to all of this.
Right,
Yeah,
and the audience is then put in a question, in a position to ask themselves the question, why am I cheering for this? But that tells you, I think, how well these characters are written, that you do fall in love with these people, regardless of what they do wrong.
Right.
Awesome. Jeffrey wants to know, which of your Madam Secretary co-stars would you want to do a Broadway show with?
Well, we kind of break out into song and dance on set all the time. Jeffrey Arend, who is not a musical theater guy at all, likes to make fun of us musical theater people by breaking into song about anything and everything on set, whether it's a prop or something at craft services. I think, well, you know who I just adore is Sara Ramirez, who was so brilliant in Spamalot.
Amazing.
And
Tony winner.
Yeah, and I don't think she's been back to Broadway since.
I don't believe she has.
But
no.
she is a force of nature, and she's great. Patina Miller, for God's sake.
Tony winner.
It's really a shame
absolutely.
about her looks. I mean, she's like the greatest look, and then she walks in these dresses on set. It's like, what? Why? Why are you allowed to look like that? It's just, I would love to do something with all of them. I keep saying we should do a Madam Secretary
The
musical.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just a musical episode. Just throw it in there like a dream.
And then Taya threatens to quit, so that gets put
it's
off.
quickly scrapped.
Yeah, she keeps saying, well, that can be my coma episode.
All right. Yes, you're all just by her bed.
Exactly.
And we can do this.
Dream sequence.
Yes,
Yeah.
Co-signing onto that episode.
All right, good.
People want to know, what is your favorite non-Pomander song in the show?
Oh, Soft Place to Land. Sara Bareilles is, I think, she's adored right now. I think later in time she'll be looked at as, we should have honored her more now.
I 100% agree.
I think to be able to write pop songs like that you can't get away from on the radio, when everyone says songs like that don't end up on the radio anymore. But to have Brave become a national anthem, to have Love Song, that came out when I was in Vegas, I think, and you literally couldn't get away from that song.
Yeah.
To have hit songs like that and then be able to write a musical score that actually feels like, and we can name a bunch of shows for the past 30 years written by pop artists that feel too pop.
They don't quite
click in, or they go completely over to musical theater.
Right.
She has actually melded the two literally perfectly.
Yeah.
And I think these songs and the arrangements, especially the vocal arrangements, are impeccable. To hear Kathryn sing them, we've heard Sara sing them, we've heard Kathryn, there's something else going on, that her voice is just like, I sit in the wings and listen to her. And with the other women in our show, when they sing Soft Place to Land together, it's kind of dreamy. So that's my favorite.
Yeah. No, it's hard to write one signature song for a whole score of a musical
Right.
that people. I think there are at least 5 or 6.
There's a couple of.
Yeah.
I mean, She Used to Be Mine.
I mean,
It's
was
obviously
its
become a
own-
standard.
yeah, like,
and,
exactly.
Right. The poor people at the casting offices probably hate
Yeah.
that song now. Every EPA, it's like, oh,
Absolutely.
another one singing. But Bad Idea
exactly.
is anytime you hear Sugar Butter Flower, I mean,
Yep.
it really
You Matter
is
to Me.
you
Like,
ma-
is-
these are all songs that are, I think, have really become part of the Broadway lexicon. And
agree.
it's such a, you just don't get sick of this score.
Yeah.
You really don't.
Do you find yourself when you're not on stage staying around to watch, or do you go back to your dressing room and chill?
Sometimes I
or-
go back to my dressing room, but I always keep the monitor up. I always try to go. I always listen to "I Didn't Plan It" at the beginning of Act Two. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And "She Used to Be Mine." I'm already on the side of the stage. I do. I go down all the time, and I also try to watch Christopher Fitzgerald do.
You're
Both
never
his
ever
songs.
getting-
Yeah,
like,
never ever getting rid of me. I mean, he's just every performance is different, and there's one line he ad-libs each night, and it's something totally different, and I'm doubled over in pain laughing backstage. Yeah, it's great. It's a really creative show.
Yeah.
So yeah, I watch from the sides all the time.
I think we have
Awesome.
time for another question.
Yep, we'll do one more question, and it's one we're getting a lot, is if you could play any other character in the show, who would you want to play?
I think I would be. Becky.
Yeah.
I think I'd be Becky.
That's a great choice.
Because I think I mean she's Caitlin Houlihan's just hilarious. I think it's, but I also think that part is so. If you listen to the lyrics of "When He Sees Me," the fact that it's this 3-part song that it's "When He Sees Me," oh my God.
We're talking Dawn.
I meant Dawn. I'm so
Gotcha.
sorry.
That's all
See,
right.
you know better than. I'm so sorry. Yes. See, I haven't read
Dawn.
the script, but I hear it's great.
No.
Diane
Dawn-
Paul has just fired me. My
No.
phone's ringing.
No.
Yes, I meant Dawn. When He Sees Me, because it's really in 3 parts. To sing "When He Sees Me," I'm so afraid that he won't like this and that. Oh God, and what if he's a murderer? That's part 1 and 2, and then part 3 becomes, but what if when he sees me, he sees me, and I actually like him. Again, Sarah wrote a layered lyric that is just, it's just incredible. And I think to act that song, I mean, that if anyone's watching that wants a good audition song, skip "She Used to Be Mine" and go to "When He Sees Me," because it's
and the acting that you have to do to pull off. Like,
oh
yeah,
my
it's
gosh,
it's all of it.
It's just great. It's just great. It's such a fun show to watch and do over time. I mean, we find new things all the time each night with the show because they are such human characters, and when the scenes hit, they hit and they're real scenes. They're not musicalized. You know what I mean? They're real acting scenes. So you do get to find new things every night.
Absolutely. Well, I could talk about Waitress all day with you, sir.
Is
but
there an
we
after
are-
show?
There's we bring out cocktails.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
We have an
that's-
after show.
Well, we are so happy to have you
Thank
here.
you.
We're so happy to have you here in the big on the Great White Way. Make sure you go see Erich Bergen in Waitress through August 12th.
That's right.
At the Brooks Atkinson Theater. The seat is always yours, sir. Come back and join us
Thank you.
anytime you like.
Thank you.
Of course. Caitlin, why don't you take us out?
Of course. You guys, thanks so much for tuning in today. We are live at 5 every single day here on Facebook. The podcast version of today's episode will be up right after this, so make sure you listen to it so you can relive all of this fun over and over and over again. Make sure to tune in tomorrow when we have new Kinky Boots star, Carrie St. Louis.